bought the first generation farm, and then I'm the second generation on this farm. I bought it from my father-in-law. So we farm roughly 2,500 corn and alfalfa, and then we milk 700 cows. I would say the most challenging part is dealing with all the regulations and environmental issues in the industry. And then I would say number 2 is probably getting a good price for our product, and number 3 would be employees. Having enough labor to keep everything running every day. Being outside, things change all the time. We got a lot of different change. You're not doing the same thing every day. You got to do all the stuff, but it's not always the same every day. We got different seasons for different things. And being my own boss, obviously, and not running my own business, get gratification out of that. So yes, I do. I got a light pro stock component chassis that is in the process right now. It should debut in Baraboo, the Children's Hospital pole, this coming year. Okay. So real excited, and it's coming along. We got a little ways to go. We're waiting on some parts, but we should have it running.
My name is Steve Fuller. I'm a beef farmer as well as a crop producer. I was in dairy farming for 38 years with my parents, and we retired because of help leaving and just families getting older. So now I'm 60 years old, making a living the best we can. We're 4th generation, so we're a 100-year farm. We were recognized as a 100-year farm back in 2004. Yeah, there's a lot of pride in all this, but there's also a lot of realism too. You know, we need help in this industry. That's where I'm at, and I hired my friend who's a custom crop operator, and we've been friends for years and went to school together. So he's doing my corn silage, which we no longer do, and that helps me stretch out my feed for the inventory for the beef cattle. So I also I fatten out steers. I've dabbled a little bit in that with selling off the farm, and I basically friends, and it works out nice. And I do a little advertising for Beiser Meats down in Bear Valley, because we process through them for these customers of ours. So it's a nice little niche. It's not going to hit the home run and make us, you know, the most successful team out here, but you know, community activity is important, and socializing, and letting people know who we are and where we are. I think that's really important, because so many people don't realize what we do and how we do it. We have 800 acres, and half of it's wooded and pasture, and half of it's crop. It keeps me busy, but as you know how farming has exploded, we're kind of on the small side anymore, because custom operators are 2,500 or bigger on the crop, and unless you have assets to really go after that, to own, that is, it's hard to obtain. And especially now, real estate just exploding on prices. So that's where we're at. And my mother is alive, so she's the boss.
Of course, that's the way it's
at 84. and she has counseling twice a day with me. So
I was going to ask you, like, what's the most challenging part of farming? So maybe that is
no, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Well, family can be, but you know, I milked cows with my mom. I raked hay with my mom. You know, that's what we did. That's what we needed to do at the time. So we've had that ongoing relationship, and I always respected the idea that when it's my turn, it's my turn. Regardless, I'm 60. I love the fall. The change in the season. I'm a hunter, and so I enjoy that as well. I've got 2 children, Mandy and Cassie, and they love the outdoors, so they're part of it. They used to help me farm a lot, but they chose careers other than farm, and so you just gotta let it go. And my dad passed back in 2016. So with that, we've had a lot of obstacles since then. But like I said, we're still here, and we're still growing, making a living. And you know, I've told kids, you know, they're looking at careers going down the road. This is bigger than what you're making for a wage. If you're not happy, then it's not worth doing. because I know a lot of people make a lot more money than I do, and they're gone all the time, and the salary just doesn't really do it. So if you like what you do, you never really have a day's work because you're doing it. So that's where, other than that, I enjoy my life, and there's things going forward that we have to strategize for the next generation if they want to do this. And I do have a daughter that says that she'd like to go back to the farm.
Be third, I guess you'd consider. My grandpa moved from Nebraska to farm here in Wisconsin. He started off with little to nothing and built up what he has now in Ithaca, and then I've kind of spawned off from that. Dairy farmed with them up until I was roughly 20, and then moved on my own, and then we raise beef cows here at home now. Raise some hay and some corn of our own. I've been in it since I was 10 years old. Yep. It's a way of life. I run about 250 of my own now, so not a lot. Like I say, I do drive truck besides, because farming right now is very tough. Inputs are high, prices are low. It's hard to be sustainable. So farming for myself has almost become a hobby above and beyond a full-time job. So I guess that's what it is. We did hay and corn. We do a little bit of oats for forage for the cattle. We try to rotate between corn and beans. So a little bit of the corn will be chopped for cattle, but everything will be combined out. So I think it's probably getting inside one of the cabs of these tractors and just sitting back. It's usually peaceful. The kids being around it too. It's kind of fun. My nieces and nephew like to ride when we bale. My son, watching your crops grow, watching your cattle grow, it's something that's, it's a part of you for the entire time. Easy to get motivated to go out and do when you're watching everything go on. So I guess just being around the family, actually being home. I've been an over-the-road truck driver. That ain't no fun. You're not home. So this has given me the opportunity to be home a lot more. Mother Nature the last couple of years, we started off with the drought last year, couldn't hardly get in the fields this spring, to back to a drought again now. We got plenty of feed this year, so life will be good. Last year we were scraping down to the last 4 or 5 bales before we started making hay here. It was getting a little scary. And financials, it's tough to make a living out here right now doing this, so that's why I drive again to supplement.